Hey guys, what's up? Power Up Boxing here, and just watched uh, the sparring between Chris Van Heerdan from South Africa uh, against Conor McGregor, uh, and I know a lot of people were criticizing. I think Conor for saying he got beat up there, and he did lose the sparring, but it's sparring, right? You can't. I don't think he didn't really lose because it's sparring. It's not like he was getting viciously beat up or anything. And the guy he was sparring was Chris Van Heerdan. Is um, he faced Errol Spence Jr. and he got knocked out. But other than that, the guy's record's 25-2. And the other loss he had was split decision loss. I haven't seen that fight, so maybe that was controversial. I don't know, but this guy's a Freddie Roach says this guy is a pretty good fighter. He goes to Freddie Roach's one of his wild card gyms, I think Wild Card West or something, and he was, I think, yeah, he had the vacant IBF International Welterweight title, and he had the International Boxing Organization World Welterweight title. Yes, so he had the WBO International Boxing title, I think. Yeah, so guy had two titles. The guy had the African Boxing Union welterweight title, like South African welterweight title. This guy's decent, and I seen Conor land a couple good shots in there. And what I took from the sparring was not that. Obviously, I thought Conor didn't do as good as the other guy, but then again, it's sparring, so they're not trying their best. They're just trying to work on sparring. You know, it's not an all-out fight. You're trying to work on stuff. Sure, you're trying, but you're not. You're not trying your best. You're trying to work on stuff, like either work on landing your left or feinting or body shots, moving your legs. So it's not a real fight. And he even said, though, Chris Van Heerdan even said he was actually he didn't know that Conor's background was amateur boxing, but he noticed it right away that he knew what he was doing in there. And the one thing that impressed him about Conor was his timing. He said he had good timing, and he had his best punch is his left hand counter. He has good timing with his straight left. He's a southpaw, and we all see him in countless fights. Conor McGregor drops 95% of his opponents with that left hand. Probably almost, I would say, like 100% of the opponents he's dropped with that left hand. And yeah, it's dangerous. And he said his power, well, 16-ounce gloves, didn't feel anything really. Like I said, they're not going all out. They're wearing 16-ounce gloves. It's hard to say if Conor would have power, actually, if he's wearing 10-ounce gloves or 8-ounce, because he's normally wearing 4-ounce. It's like you can't really judge it. And especially sparring, you can't really, unless you're like Triple G or something, or like I know Pacquiao, they say he has good snap, or like, Triple G and Kovalev, then you're not going to really notice it in sparring. The speed wise, yeah, speed didn't really surprise him. It was just the timing and that left hand that was good. But he asked, how would Conor do against a boxer? And he said he has a long way to go still. His boxing is not up to the regular boxing level. And that's what he said. He said if he fought Mayweather, he would easily lose. And Mayweather, he thinks, could stop him. Now, I don't know if Mayweather could stop him because he's tough. Like maybe TKO, but that's only if Floyd is willing to get aggressive. And Floyd hasn't got aggressive in like so long. He never gets aggressive. So he would really have to change his style and get aggressive on Conor to get a knockout. And if he doesn't do that, he's not going to get the knockout. He doesn't have the power. But like I said, if he can put the volume together and get him in a corner, and he can maybe TKO, but that's very far-fetched. but he'd probably win every round against Conor McGregor. And that's unrealistic, though, for him. I don't know why people want to see that. That's just... I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance. Everyone has a chance, but, like, it's... Like, all the other boxers, Floyd, even Berto probably had a better chance than Conor McGregor. And, you know what I mean? Like, because these guys are boxers. So, like I said, I'm not saying Conor isn't good, but I think he needs to work his way up. And, he needs to start off with like every other boxer. I think he had an amateur background in Ireland, but he needs to start off by facing guys with losing records, facing guys that are debuting as well, and work his way up. So, anyway, let me know what you guys think. Do you think his boxing skills are good? Or what did you think of the sparring? I thought he did okay. Like I said, obviously, considering the guy he was facing, he wasn't facing a bum, right? He was facing a decent fighter. Freddie Roach even said that was a pretty good fighter. So, if he takes this seriously, I'd like to see. I'm very interested to see Conor McGregor, but I'm not interested to see him against Mayweather, but I'm interested to see him in boxing in general, to see how far he can get. But other than that, will it sell? It will sell, but for hardcore boxing fans, it's not a good fight. For casual fans, it's a good fight, right? So anyway, thanks for watching. Power Boxing, powering down.